Danvers Care on Facebook or social media, and we'll be posting registration links as well as flyers with more information on that.
Wonderful. What was the date on that again? Just one more time.
December 8th from 6 to 7 p.m.
December 8th. Awesome. So Lila, thank you for joining us this evening. Again, it's a little different. Everything's virtual now. So we touched on a little before we got on, but just the different challenges we had, and we thank you again for coming on and joining us. And I encourage anybody at home who is interested in Danvers Cares to reach out to Lila for more information. Lila, thank you.
Thanks, David. Thanks, DCAT.
All right. Have a good night.
Okay. Thank you, David. That was a great interview. I am here with Sarah Stanley from Hawk. Hey, Sarah, how are you?
Hi, John. I'm great. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. So let's start by telling the studio audience here a little bit more about Hawk.
Yes. So Hawk is a nonprofit that serves the North Shore. We provide various free and confidential services for survivors of domestic violence. And John, sometimes when people hear the phrase domestic violence, they think of physical violence. But it's really important to know that abuse can take the form of emotional, mental, financial, cultural, or religious abuse. And we're here for everyone that's experiencing any of those types of abuses.
That's excellent. And it's good that you defined that. That was going to be my next question, to define what domestic violence really is, because I think you're absolutely right. People think of, if he's not beating me, then it doesn't matter, you know, but you're right. There's a lot of different types of abuse, and it's good that you're there for everybody. Now,
yeah, we're really looking at an abusive partner is someone who tries to exert control, power and control over the other person. And that's really the distinguishing factor that shows a really unhealthy relationship.
So that's a great point. What would someone in a relationship be looking for as triggers to say, you know, I really do need to seek outside help with regards to this relationship?
Yeah, there's several things that might cue you into that. If someone is trying to isolate you from your friends or family, putting you down, making you think that things are always your fault, these are just some of the red flags to a relationship that is centered on power and control rather than mutual respect.
And my sense is that you help people of all ages, and that domestic violence isn't just limited to older people who may be married.
Exactly. So we serve men, women, non-binary folks, and we help anyone that's experiencing, you know, you might be in a dating relationship, and it might even be a close family member who is abusive.
Huh. Okay, good. Now, certainly in this COVID environment, everything has changed in the past 8 months. So how has that affected Hawk and the services that you offer?
Yeah, so like so many other companies and organizations, we had to pivot to provide all of our services virtually. But the most important thing for folks to know is that Hawk is here. We're available to you like we always have been. So our 24-hour hotline is operational. You can reach us absolutely any time. You can call our offices. All of our services can be done via text, via telephone, via a Zoom platform or other virtual platforms. And then for some folks who do need to come in person, we can make appointments if that is the safest and only option for you.
Now, I remember last year, during this same interview last year with someone else from your organization, I was shocked at the number of people here in Danvers that really need your assistance.
Yeah, so we serve 23 cities and towns on the North Shore, and we serve about 2,700 people on the North Shore every year.
Wow.
So the need is great. And, you know, one thing important for folks to know is that, you know, the pandemic has it has intensified things for survivors, but it really is a pandemic on top of the pandemic of domestic violence. The abuse has always been happening, but things have just intensified for people in abusive relationships.
Yeah, I would certainly think that's the case. People being isolated at home. So if you have a bad relationship at home and there's really no place to go, you're kind of trapped in a relationship that you're trapped in. So I can see how devastating that would be.
And so, yeah, it really has made survivors more vulnerable. I said before, isolation is part of abuse, and we are all isolated right now in order to stem the spread of the virus. And so what I really hope folks can take away tonight is that even if you're experiencing isolation, there is help available. You can give Hawk a call. We have so many things we can help with, emergency shelter, housing stabilization, legal services. We have services for children, and we have direct assistance that is available to help with utility bills, and other types of things that will help someone remain or become stable in their lives. So we really encourage folks to reach out, however you can, because we can help.
That's really great, Sarah. Now, I know we have your website posted up on screen, but why don't you go over that number just as well so that people can hear that?
Yeah, so Hog Hotline is 1-800-547-1649, and that's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can speak with a trained Hawk Hotline staff that can help you with immediate safety planning. And sometimes it's just a sympathetic ear to hear about what you're experiencing and give you some information and even some resources on what you might want to do next.
That is great. Sarah, thanks so much for joining us tonight. You have a wonderful organization. You're doing great work, and I wish you all the best in the coming year.
Thank you so much, John. And if folks can check out our website to see how you can support survivors during the holiday time, we are trying to collect gift cards for our holiday program, and consider supporting Hawk on Giving Tuesday.
Excellent. Very good. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you.
All right, and I'm here with Anna Mary from It's My Heart New England. Anna Mary, thank you for joining us once again on Community Connections. It's a different look this year, but we appreciate you stopping by for this conversation.
It was my pleasure. I didn't have to go far this year.
Yeah, awesome. So I would love it if you could just start and just talk a little bit about It's My Heart New England and what the organization is.
Sure. So I'm from It's My Heart New England. We are a non-medical support group for families affected by congenital heart defects, so a heart defect that you're born with. We support families all over New England. We're based out of Danvers, so many of our events take place in Danvers. We have a big walk every year at Endicott Park. We usually have a craft fair at Breakaway. We've taken that virtually this year, which I'll tell you about in a little while. And basically, we provide support for families who are new in the journey, old in the journey. We get families together and those kind of things. And we have a hospital program also where we support inpatient families, which is a little difficult right now. Mm-hmm. So we're trying to do that virtually as well, but it's much more difficult. But we're still doing it, and we're still operating and having fun while we're doing it. So.
Yeah, I mean, and you touched on caring for those families who need it, which is an instrumental service. Potentially, arguably now more than ever, just given what's going on right now. I don't know if you could just talk about just in terms of what you guys specifically do to help institute those.
What we've done during the pandemic or in general?
I guess if you want to touch on both, that's totally fine.
Yeah, sure. So we have a hospital program where we come in and we provide toiletry bags and things for families who aren't expected to be in the hospital or who are there for extended periods of time. Mm-hmm. We have a program where we support families when they're having open heart surgery. So we pay for their meals and snacks and every parking and for 1 week. And then outside of the hospital, we host monthly events for our families. So we take them to Storyland, we take them apple picking, to the zoo. During the pandemic, we've had to change everything, and we've really reimagined the way we're doing things. So we're still hosting monthly events, believe it or not, but we've turned them all virtual. So we've done Pictionary, we've done bingo. We did a virtual apple picking this year. So we sent our families apples in the mail, and then we all logged into a Zoom and showed what we baked or made, and then we played some trivia games, and it's really been fun. It's hard, it's challenging. We did virtual trick-or-treating, which was fun. So we had some characters come along, and the kids knocked at the doors, like the virtual doors, and then the characters came out and told them stories, sang them songs, and we sent everybody packages of candy and games and things to do. So it was really fun. It's a lot more work to do in virtual. We did a virtual paint night for our kids, or paint day. So we had an artist come in and do a painting of a Ferris wheel. So that was really fun. It was awesome actually to see the kids and how they did it, but they all did it on Zoom, and we just, Zoom is our friend.
Yeah,
So,
and, you know, you touched on. I think it's really clever, just in terms of some of the events you talked about right there. The virtual apple picking. I didn't know where that was going to go, but it sounds like a lot of fun. It sounds like just a really clever, creative way to just do something that we've normally done. Give it a spin, so that way it can be incorporated virtually. So that sounds like a really fun chance, in my opinion.
yeah, we're trying. So what we do is, like, we support families and we try to get them together to make connections together with each other. And we don't want to do that during this time, apple picking together.
Right.
So, and you know, we could pay for families to go apple picking, but that's not really connecting them together, right? So that's how we reimagined that, and it worked out pretty well.
That's wonderful to hear.
Yeah.
So I'm sure there are folks at home right now, and this is a big part of this evening, just wondering how they themselves can get involved and what they can do. Do you have any advice, or do you have any sort of ways to lead people right now?
I do. So we have a Facebook page which lists all of our events, and we have some interactive things on there, coloring contests for the kids. We had like find hearts in nature, so kids could go out and find hearts everywhere. So that's It's My Heart New England. It's My Heart hyphen New England on
Okay.
Facebook, and you can find it there. Or we have a website, which is www.itsmyheartnewengland, all one word, .org, and we list our events there too. We're about to announce our scholarships. So if you have a high school senior or a college student and they are affected by a congenital heart defect in any way, they can apply for that scholarship. And then we also have a big craft fair going on. So our 1-day craft fair turned into a 22-day craft fair. So each night from November 1st to the 22nd, we are highlighting a vendor or a crafter on Facebook. And then at 7:30 Eastern time, we go live with that vendor for about a half an hour and let them showcase their products and tell you how to get them. So we've done Pampered Chef, we did Texas Roadhouse, we did some great t-shirt crafters. Tonight we have Mary Kay. It's like really fun. So it's a nice way to keep our connections with our vendors from previous years. And then we'll have a raffle at the end where you can win some of the great products that they offer. So that's like a fun way to get involved, as well as to join us every night live and just give, some business to these small businesses, because they're all small businesses locally. Even if they're vendors, they're still small businesses. So we're trying to support them at the same time as we're just doing good in the community, hopefully.
Yeah, no, I mean, it sounds like you guys are doing the right thing. So thank you guys. I mean, thank you so much, Anna Mary, for joining us this evening. I was wondering if you could just give that website and that Facebook page to folks one more time at home.
I sure can. So it is www.itsmyheartnewengland, all one word, .org. That's our website, and our Facebook page is just It's My Heart New England.
Perfect.
And we look forward to having you join us, and I think we're doing a disguise a turkey for Thanksgiving. So
Oh, there you
that'll
go.
be a
That sounds like
event.
fun.
Yeah.
Awesome.
We love to see the creative things people come with. So
Yeah,
come and join us. We welcome everybody.
Yes, please reach out, folks, if you are interested. And that does sound like a fun event itself. Anna Mary, thank you so much for joining us this evening, and best of luck in the future.
Great, and thank you for having us. We appreciate it. Have a great night.
You too.
Bye.
All right, thanks, David. I'm here with a very good friend of mine, Gala Bartlett from the Kiwanis Club, a organization near and dear to my heart. Hey, Gala, how are you?
I'm great, John. How are you tonight?
Excellent, thank you. So I know you love the Danvers Kiwanis Club. You love all things Kiwanis, I know that. But so let's tell the people at home a little bit more about the Kiwanis organization, how long the Danvers Club has been around. 1963, right? Did I get that right?
Yeah, actually 1961.
Oh, so close.
You were so close. So we became a club. Kiwanis is an international organization, and our mission is serving the children one child at a time. So we work with kids in our community. We raise funds for them. And the four major functions of our Kiwanis Club is fellowship, community service, fundraising, and providing scholarships for students in the community. So knowing that we've been an organization that's been enriched in Danvers, so Kiwanis International as an organization is about 103 years old, or over 100 years old now. So it's a wonderful organization, and we are so blessed to have, the Kiwanis Club, Rotary, Lions, and all those wonderful service organizations here in Danvers.
That's true. You're absolutely right. And so as a service organization, how has the coronavirus impacted your projects this year and all the things that you normally do?
Absolutely. So usually we do our pancake breakfast in March. That's when coronavirus first came out, and it was heavy. So we made a decision to protect our members in our community. We canceled it. We did have our duck race. It was a virtual duck race this year. So instead of having 1,000 rubber duckies go into the Pope's Landing, we decided to do something that was more, we had to be careful of everyone. We didn't want a large gathering with the ducks and then everybody touching everything. So we actually got the bingo spinner out and did paper ducks with all the numbers, and we did it live on Facebook, and we had our winners.
Yep.
So we actually did really well with our ticket sales, which is wonderful. And we're happy about that. So we raised our scholarship money and beyond that we needed to raise.
Excellent.
So it was really exciting for us. And that way you still saw duckies. They were just in a different form.
Yeah.
So COVID has made Kiwanis as an organization and as an international organization think out of the box. We've had to do things a whole different way than we would have ever done it before. Clubs are coming up with brand new ideas, new events, new ideas and new ways to market our organization. So for members that always said, oh, I can't come to a meeting, I can't come to a meeting. Well, now you can, because our meetings are on Zoom.
Huh.
So we're able to connect and see each other and check in on each other socially through Zoom, just like we're doing now with Community Connections.
Now, I thought I had heard that lunches had resumed. Is that correct?
They did. They resumed outside at Danversport. They were being held the first Tuesday of the month, first and third Tuesday, but now due to COVID, we really can't be outside. And our membership, we did a survey, and they felt comfortable. They didn't feel comfortable eating inside. So we have halted meetings for now until they decide that they're ready to go and meet in person again.
Gotcha.
So we did a Zoom social the other night, which was nice. We had members on there that we don't necessarily get to see that much anymore. And it was nice to reconnect with people. We're actually working on our next service project. It will be a hands-on service project, but COVID safe and in the COVID style of Kiwanis service.
Excellent. And it's funny, I think I have to agree with you that the plus side of this coronavirus is that people have started using more Zoom meetings, and it has brought people closer together that ordinarily wouldn't be. And,
right.
So it's like it's easy to get your entire family together, for example, once a week, where physically they may be in different states. So physically they're not going to be able to do that, but now you get to see people. And I think Zoom has been a wonderful opportunity for everybody. So
absolutely.
So it's good that you're utilizing it well. How can people find out more about the Danvers Kiwanis Club and Kiwanis in general?
Great. So we have our Facebook page, which has lots of photos of our Kiwanians doing wonderful things and trying to do our outreach. You can also go to danverskiwanis.org, or you can go to kiwanis1.org, which is the international site. And if you're not in the Danvers area and you want to join a Kiwanis club, we have them all over New England and Bermuda. We have 149 clubs in our district. And again, yes, we are New England and Bermuda, which is nice. So we get Bermuda as part of our organization in our district, which was very nice.
Yeah.
And we love it.
That's excellent. So if people are you taking new applications at this time, even though you're not meeting in person?
Yeah, we are taking new applications. And Kiwanis is actually rolling out a brand new leadership program, which is going to be very exciting. And it's going to have a lot of skills that people can use in their daily lives, not just Kiwanis. So I can't talk much about that. I just saw the premiere of it last night at Kiwanis International in a special training we had. But there are some new key initiatives for us, getting people online to gather and to get all that training they need for marketing, social media, everything you need to succeed in a business life and also help you in Kiwanis. So
Excellent.
We're excited about that. And we also have an e-Kiwanis club in our division. So if you can't join Kiwanis in your local town, if there isn't one, you can join the e-Kiwanis club. And they are out there doing all kinds of great service on the internet, sponsoring key clubs, which are our high school version. So e-Kiwanis is the way to go. If you can't physically get to a meeting, you can still be a part of our wonderful organization.
And where would people find information on that? Is that on your website?
It's actually, they have their own Facebook page. It's e-Kiwanis. or you can go to the New England and Bermuda District of Kiwanis, our website, and find out about the local Kiwanis Club in your area.
Excellent. Excellent. As always, great organization. Say hi to all my friends at the Kiwanians, all my fellow Kiwanians. And good seeing you again. And
you too.
You have a great Thanksgiving.
Thank you. You too, John. Take care.
Thanks, Gala. Bye. Over to you,
Bye-bye.
David.
All right. Thank you, John. I am here with Dr. Fabiana Marie. Dr. Marie, welcome to the program.
Thanks for having me.
All right. So we are here today to talk about the Fab Family Fund. And for the viewers at home who aren't familiar with the organization, I would love it if you could just kind of give an overview as to who you guys are and potentially why you even started the organization.
Absolutely. So the Fab Family Fund is a grassroots 501c3. I am a 15-year metastatic breast cancer fighter, still thriving. And the idea came to us because my husband and I have been involved in so many other organizations that we wanted to see kind of what was missing for the breast cancer community. And looking at our own life and looking at the past 15 years, my husband came up with an idea to send a deserving family on an all expense paid trip. Because the one thing that you don't do when you're sick is think about going on vacation, think about doing the things for yourself that you would normally do if you didn't have medical bills stacked up to the ceiling and worrying about all of that. But we wanted to take it one step further, and we wanted to, while they're on vacation, to take care of all of their bills while they're on vacation. Because again, it takes that weight off when you're on vacation that you can just enjoy and you know you're not coming home to a stack of bills. Because I am a doctor of naturopathic medicine, I also wanted to include in the organization to be able to provide wellness seminars and to highlight the ongoing metastatic breast cancer crisis. So we exist within the community to serve for the breast cancer community and those going through adversity right now.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you touched on just sort of I don't want to say it's a general term, but just a general thought of when folks aren't doing well, whether it be they're sick from a cancer or for whatever reason may be, you're right. The last thing you're thinking of is, hey, let's go on a nice vacation and try to have a good time. And
yeah, I mean, so many people, I mean, us included, I can count on, a couple fingers the amount of times that we've gone on vacation in 15 years. Mm-hmm. Because again, that's the last thing you're thinking of when, number one, when you're sick. Yep. Or number two, when you're within a family that now you're down to either one income, because for myself, we went down to one income. So, you're not thinking about a trip. You're not thinking about, it's so funny because doctors always tell you, take the stress away from your life, go on a vacation, do this. But the one thing that you're not thinking about is taking the stress away from your life, because the stress is there every day with the bills and the treatment and the this and that. So we wanted to be able to provide this for a deserving family, and we're hoping to be able to build it so we can do many families within a year. But this is one of the things that you miss doing and that your body really needs to heal and have solace from just the everyday life.
Yeah, I mean, you touched on the stress aspect. It's full front and center for everyone. Even when you want it to be back or you just push it away or just get rid of it, honestly, it's just not possible for most folks, unfortunately.
No, it isn't possible, and our hope is that we can take some of that away from somebody. And I answer emails, I answer text.
Oh, we may have lost Dr. Fabiana Marie for a moment there. Oh, is she there now? I think I see her. Hello, can you hear me?
Hey, I could still see myself.
Okay, there you are. So sorry. Yes, I believe you were touching on, I forget where you may have been cut off there, but.
Yeah, so I mean, I get messages daily from mental health that goes along with having a diagnosis. And it doesn't have to be a diagnosis of breast cancer. I mean, we're all going through something. I mean, look at the unprecedented times that we're living in right now.
Yeah.
So, our mental well-being and our mental health really should take precedence right now. And for us to be able to do this and give a family, some of that solace and give them a mental health break, I'm like floored at how much this organization can do for somebody.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it sounds like definitely a wonderful thing for folks to do. For those who are interested in donating, how are they able to do that?
So you can go to the website www.fabfamilyfund.org. There is a donation page and there is a nomination page. So if you know of somebody that is deserving of a trip and you would like to nominate them, there is a nomination page as well.
That's perfect. Yeah. And for folks, is there anyone, or any way I should say, for folks to get involved if they'd like to?
Yes, please reach out to me. We have ongoing things that we're doing for fundraising efforts. You know, we have a very established, amazing board of directors. And what we're actually trying to do is bring others in so we can, you know, have small sectors of people fundraising. That way it doesn't fall on just one person. So anybody can get in touch with me. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on Twitter. And again, you can go to the website.
Okay, wonderful. So yeah, for those at home who are interested in helping out, this is a great cause. Please reach out to Dr. Fabiana Marie. We've had the opportunity to work with her on several programs here in the studio, and she's always a pleasure. So Dr. Fabiana Marie, thank you for joining us tonight, and send my best to the family.
Great, thank you, David.
Have a good night.
You too.
All right, thank you, David. I am here with Erin O'Malley. Hey, Erin, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Wonderful, thank you. Love the tiara, love the crown. Erin is with Miss Pink. And tell me, what does it mean to be a pink warrior?
Well, a pink warrior is someone that either has fought breast cancer or is fighting breast cancer.
That's excellent. So tell me how this organization translates to your own personal story.
Well, I was diagnosed with triple negative breast cancer, stage 2, in 2018. And it was only 6 months after, not even 6 months after I had a clear 3D mammogram, I found it myself. And so I immediately felt like by finding it, I was, first of all, so lucky, but also it immediately gave me an idea of, I have to get this message out that you have to take your health seriously. If I had waited until my next mammogram, I would have most definitely been stage 4 because I had the fastest growing, fastest spreading kind of cancer. To have it grow as fast as it did, there was nothing in that mammogram. And then not even 6 months later, I was already stage 2. I thought, especially with what I do for a living, it would give me quite the platform to be able to remind women to take their health seriously and to really never skip appointments and always check yourself. Right. That was my biggest message through it.
Yeah, the self-exam, it's not as if you need a doctor or you need lab times or anything. It's like every day you could be checking yourself. And,
exactly.
It is so important to find things early. It can save your life.
It absolutely saved mine. And I feel like when you get to a certain age, people are like, oh, don't forget the mammogram. You know, you're 40, you have to get your mammogram. And while that's super important, it should go hand in hand with self-check, because that is truly how I saved my own life. And that's what led me into Miss Pink and to spread the word about taking your health seriously.
So is that the one thing that you want everyone to know about the Miss Pink organization is check yourself?
Well, that's my personal message. I feel like it's just so important because it's what saved me. Mm-hmm. But Miss Pink is an awesome organization that really does give you a sense of empowerment. Like, you know, I don't usually walk around with the crown at home, but it's kind of fun
smiling.
To be able to wear it. I love it. It's super fun. But it's also an organization of just really powerful women who lift each other up, and we help other women who are going through breast cancer with things like groceries and gas cards and whatever they might need, especially during the actual treatments. And we have misspink.org. All the information is up there, but it really is an empowering organization, and I love being part of it.
So what is it that your organization does on a daily, weekly, monthly basis? How do people interact?
Well, you can go to the website is misspink.org, and we take people, there's a whole list of different things that we do to help out, and you can go to the website and tell us what exactly you're needing and where you're at in your treatment, and we just take it from there and we help. And it's always open. I mean, it's the website, so we're always checking it. We're always looking for people that we can help and ways to help. And the Miss Pink pageant is a great fundraiser that we do every year, minus this year, because I'm Miss Pink 2019, so it's like the longest reigning Miss Pink ever. Thank you, COVID. And so but we do that every year, and it's a great fundraiser. And it also is when we pick a new Miss Pink, one of our warriors who has been nominated by somebody, and we go through and have the whole pageant, and then someone is crowned, and they're the representative of the organization for the next year, or COVID 2 years. And that's how we go forward.
Yeah, and not that we don't want you to be the reigning queen forever, but let's hope it's only for 2 years, right? Let's hope this COVID goes away quickly. Right.
Exactly.
Right. So talk to me about a message of hope.
I think it's really important that, and I learned this more than ever during my battle, there are some things in life that you cannot change no matter how much you want to. And the only thing that you really have control over is your attitude. So make it the best one you possibly can. I went to chemo. Every single appointment I dressed as Wonder Woman. And I was like, I am just going to fight this. It doesn't know who it picked. It picked the wrong girl. And I really did keep that attitude the entire time. And I truly think that that is what helped me get to the other side. And I am cancer free and have been since the end of my treatments. And I'm forever grateful. But I do want to pass that message of hope along, that if there's one thing that you can always really focus on, try to make it the best attitude that you can with whatever life has dealt you.
Yeah, and I think you're so absolutely correct with that philosophy that if I've always said, only worry about the things that you can change. If you can't change something, don't worry about it. Just deal with it. And,
exactly.
And you're absolutely right. Keeping a positive attitude, taking all the steps that you can to make sure that you are fighting as hard as you can, but you can't let it get you down. You can't let it worry you. You can't worry about things you have no control over.
It's very, very true. It's very true. I'm super grateful. And I do think an attitude, a positive attitude, can take you very far.
Agree with that. Well, Erin, thanks so much for joining us. Best of luck with the organization. Is there any way that people can help you?
MissPink.org is where to go. That's our website. You can listen to me. I'm actually a radio DJ at Mix 104.1, and I'm on every day, Monday through Friday from 10 to 2. And I always tell feel-good stories and spread positive messages. And that's kind of who I am. So excellent. I would love for you to, listen anytime. And MissPink.org, you can always find us there.
I will tune you in.
Thanks.
All right. Thanks, Erin. You have a great Thanksgiving.
Oh, you too. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye now.
All right, thank you, John. So I'm here now with Dee Trochea Joko. Dee, welcome to the program. I know you've been here in the past when it's been in person, so it's virtual. It's a little different, but we're still here. We're still excited to bring folks at home to introduce them to organizations they may not be familiar with.
Thank you.
All right, so we're here to discuss the Danvers Human Rights and Inclusion Committee. So for the folks at home who aren't interested, or aren't aware, I was wondering if you could just talk a little bit about who you guys are.
Yes, the Danvers Human Rights and Inclusion Committee, formerly known as the Danvers Committee for Diversity, is a cohesive task force against anti-Semitism, homophobia, intolerance, racism, sexism, and bigotry. The committee was created over 20 years ago as a result of some anti-Semitic graffitis that we had found on one of the elementary schools here in town. Basically, we are committed at the committee to reaffirm the worth and dignity of every human being. Mm-hmm. Members of the committee are appointed by the select board. And why does Denver need such a committee? I believe that every city and town should have a committee like this. Someone once said, expanding one's circle of compassion by caring for others enhances personal and spiritual growth, right? Mm-hmm. And to quote Dr. Martin Luther King, he also once said, we may all have come from different ships, but we are all in the same boat now. And we know, believe it or not, people in Danvers comes from different backgrounds with many characteristics, beliefs, and affiliations representing a diverse community. So it's important that we have a group that can bring all that together.
Yeah, I think that's extremely well said. I know one of the aspects that you've touched on in the past is just creating a climate of awareness and understanding in regards to just the diverse community that Danvers does have. I was wondering if you could just touch on that and how you guys promote that.
Yes, we promote and celebrate the diversity in our community while advocating respect for others, right? Regardless of the differences. And we do that through education, community outreach, and community events. We partner with different stakeholders. We partner with the police station. And as a matter of fact, we've had a police liaison as a member of our committee for over 20 years. And pre-COVID, we actually used to meet monthly at the police station. We partner with school administrators, interfaith representatives, and several community partners on different events and initiatives to create that positive atmosphere for a multicultural community. Because at the end of the day, we strongly stand against hatred and support those who experience any kind of marginalization due to, age, gender, race, ethnicity, religious belief, sexual orientation, or socioeconomic status.
So we touched on earlier just how we're doing it virtual this year, so it's a little different.
Yes,
so I'm guessing things are a little different for the Human Rights and Inclusion Committee. So what are you guys up to these days?
That's true. It's a lot different. We focused most recently on building partnership with our youth in the town. We actually intend to have 2 student liaisons to the committee now to get from the youth perspective. What is it that they see, what are they experiencing, and where do they want the things to go? We've put together a bumper sticker contest, and shout out and big thanks to the subcommittee who worked very hard into putting that together. Bob Gamer, Donna Hopkins, Bill Graham, Eileen Page, and our select board, David Mills. It is open, I believe, until tomorrow, the 13th. And that was open to all students within the town, grades 6 to 11, enrolled in any public school, private school, homeschool, what might you. And they have to submit an artwork that promotes inclusion and acceptance within our community. And the winner will be getting a $500 cash prize. And for any information, I encourage people who you still got 24 hours to go, reach out to Eileen Page at Town Hall Extension 3031 if you want to submit an entry. We've also been working on some lawn sign. If you've been listening to what's been happening in the town, we did a lot of people in the town reach out to the committee to try to see how they can, have some kind of unity. And we have this lawn sign. I can show it. I don't know if the camera can see some of it. It says, "We are Danvers, unity in our community. Hate has no place here." And these are available. We have about 250 of these made so far. It was graciously donated, sponsored by the Friends of the Human Rights and Inclusion Committee. And anyone can contact Eileen Page again or Donna Hopkins at, I think her email is Donna, HRIC@gmail.com. We're taking a $10 donation for them, but you definitely can get one even without the $10. Please get one and put it on your lawn, because we want to show people that we are together.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's an important message, is that we are together as a community. Absolutely.
That's right.
So one event that I know you guys do a lot of work in, put a lot of work into, and it's great for the community, is the Martin Luther King Day event. So I'm guessing that might look a little bit different this year.
Definitely, like everything else in 2020, right? Each year since 1999, the Danvers Human Rights and Inclusion Committee has brought the community together to celebrate, the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King. This year, we're planning a virtual celebration. Please stay tuned. I will be reaching out to you, David and Greg and the whole crew there to work on this. Stay tuned, more information will follow on that. But yes, we are not going to skip it this year. It's gonna be happening.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I know we've talked a little bit about it here in the office, so we're excited to work with you guys on that. Absolutely, D.
Thank you.
So looking for the folks at home who may be watching right now, and they are interested in potentially getting involved with the Human Rights and Inclusion Committee, is there a way you'd like to kind of steer them, or what should they do?
Yes, we would really love to hear from people in the community. We are seeking greater participation from our Danvers residents. Remember, by being involved, as someone once said, you are not only helping others, but you're strengthening your connection to the community and gaining new skills and enrichment of your personal and professional life. Our meetings are the third Thursday, usually the third Thursday of the month. We're meeting now virtually. They're at 7 p.m. We would love to hear from you at home. We would love to hear from the community on things that we could do, some initiatives that we can pursue. We do have our website, www.danvershumanrights.org. We also do have a Facebook page and a Twitter account, and you definitely can get to our website to the town website. We firmly believe that community involvement is key to continuing to pursue that equality and justice for all. Because, as I always say, hate is taught, right? So we need to make sure that we figure out ways to not teach our kids that, but just teach them love and compassion.
Wonderful. Dee, thank you so much for joining us this evening. You touched on a couple of key points right there. Equality and justice for all. I think that's definitely something that I know here at DCAT we absolutely support. So we applaud your work with the Human Rights and Inclusion Committee. We applaud the work that the committee itself does. And I'm not joking. We are looking forward to working on the MLK Day presentation coming up.
And so am I. Thank you very much for everything you've been doing, not only for the committee, but for the town, and to bring us all the information that you do. Thank you, David.
Oh, thank you, Dee. I appreciate that. So for folks who are interested, please reach out to Dee and the Human Rights and Inclusion Committee. They're a wonderful group. And, so please reach out if you are interested. Dee, thank you.
Thank you. Good night.
Okay, we're back, and I'm with Noah Levitt from Northeast Ark. Noah, how are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me on tonight.
Pleasure. Thanks for joining us. So let's tell everybody at home all about Northeast Ark. What do you do?
So Northeast Ark is a nonprofit that is dedicated to helping individuals with disabilities become full-time participants in their communities. So we serve 15,000 people a year in 190 communities across Massachusetts. And our services sort of cover the full arc of someone's life, from early intervention or specialized therapy when someone is, an infant or a toddler, to supported employment and skills training for teenagers or young adults, to residential homes, to services for seniors, to home nursing and skilled nursing care. So we really sort of run the full gamut of services for people with disabilities. And our goal is for people with disabilities to live independent lives, and also to have them be included in their communities.
Now, you had mentioned that you're in 90 different communities, and I know there's a building right on Center Street. Is that your headquarters or just one of the facilities?
Yep. So we're headquartered over at 1 Southside Road and 6 Southside Road off Center Street in Danvers. And we also have other facilities sort of across the North Shore, mostly residential homes. Our biggest new facility is also in Danvers at the Liberty Tree Mall, which we're calling the Center for Linking Lives. So we just acquired 26,000 square feet of space in the mall over there. And we basically moved all of our community-facing programs over to the mall, which is really a really visual way to demonstrate inclusion for people with disabilities. Instead of having these programs in an office park, somewhere hidden, we're putting them right in the center of our community, accessible via public transportation. So we've moved all our programs there. It's a great way to, we think, revitalize the Liberty Tree Mall and bring more traffic in there. And one of the things that we're really excited about the Center for Linking Lives is we have a store called Parcels, which is a store that sells exclusively products made by individuals with disabilities or by companies owned by people with disabilities. And it's some products that are made locally in Danvers, but we also have products that are made all around the country, from Texas, from Arizona. And some of these are products you can't get anywhere else. So that's sort of one of the really cool features and one of the things we're really excited about at the mall space now.
And that's an excellent strategy too, because that brings in people that aren't familiar with Northeast Ark. They're just shopping it as a store, but then they get the opportunity to find out all about what you do and the people that made these products, et cetera, et cetera. So a great tandem, especially having it over at the mall.
Exactly. And I think that one of the things that, as an agency, we offer so many services. So I think that once people sort of learn a little bit more about us, they might find that there's something that's relevant to their lives, to their children, or to friends or family. And I think the thing I love most about Parcel is that you really wouldn't know it's a store with products made by individuals with disabilities. You'd think it's just a really neat boutique. And to me, that is the height of inclusion, when these products are just being sold like any other products.
Right.
It's just a great little gift shop. So hopefully people will go in and check that out.
Yep. And hopefully, I think that's probably a goal of yours, is to have the individuals be viewed as just individuals as opposed to a disabled individual or an individual with a disability.
Exactly. And I think one of the things I love is the art, for example. So we have art all over the store that's made by individuals in our ArtWorks program. But it's just art. It's incredible, beautiful art that is shown in regular galleries, that is shown in competitions, and it just happens to be made by someone with a disability. And I think that's the really important message for us, is that there's just incredible creativity, and we're excited to show it off.
That's excellent. So how can people get involved with Northeast Ark?
Yeah, so definitely a few ways to get involved. We definitely would urge people to visit our website, ne-arc.org. And you can visit there. You can learn about all the different services we offer. You can definitely volunteer. We love to have people volunteer. People can, in COVID, we're obviously having fewer events than usual. But we're always looking for people to volunteer, whether it's visiting one of our residential homes and helping do some lawn cleanup, or donating their time to spend time with their individuals. People can obviously donate financially. One of the things that we've recently launched is what we're calling our Campaign for Linking Lives, which is a fundraising campaign for the Center for Linking Lives. So typically, organizations will fundraise and then take on a big project. We're kind of doing it in the reverse. We opened the Center for Linking Lives, and now we're sort of fundraising for it, because I think we realized how important it was to provide this service to our community and to the Danvers community.
Mm-hmm.
So if people obviously want to contribute to that, they can visit our website and just click the donate button. But our website has a ton of great information for any sort of way you would want to get involved.
Excellent. When did the center open?
So the center officially opened in the middle of October. So we've been open for about a month now. With COVID, we still have sort of limits on the number of individuals that we can have in there, the number of programs that are running. But it is open to the public. Parcels is open to the public, obviously. Parcels is open 7 days a week. So whenever the mall is open, Parcels is open.
Excellent.
So definitely stop in there and check it out.
That is great. Noah, it sounds like you're doing wonderful, wonderful work. Congratulations on opening the Center for Linking Lives. And I wish you the most success, and hope to see you down here at DCAT filming stuff.
Yes, looking to meeting you in person one day. Thanks so much for having me on and giving us a few minutes to share about the work we're doing.
Wonderful. Thank you, Noah. Have a great Thanksgiving.
Thank you. You too.
Bye now.
All right, and we are back here. Thank you, John. So I'm here with Dawn Preston, a familiar face to those who have watched the DCAT in the past. Dawn from Habitat for Humanity North Shore, although it sounds like that may be changing, Dawn. So welcome, first off, for joining us this evening.
Well, thank you very much for hosting this. This is a great service DCAT is doing to the North Shore community.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we love working with the community, and obviously Habitat has been a big part of that. So Dawn, I'd love if you could just kind of, I guess for starters, just introduce to people to what Habitat for Humanity is if they're not familiar.
Well, Habitat for Humanity is a nationwide organization, and actually worldwide, of producing affordable housing for low-income families. That's its primary goal. And we have built, like in Danvers, 3 units at this point. 4 units, sorry, 4 units of housing. And we're currently building in Wenham. And the big news for our local affiliate is we have merged with Merrimack Valley Habitat. So we are now Essex County Habitat and represent all the communities in Essex County. So that is a big move and very exciting for the affiliate and the capability of addressing the needs of all our communities. And for instance, right now we have over 13 families in the process of getting new homes. 2 in Wenham, a bunch in Salisbury, and a couple in North Andover. So a combination of 13 active builds right now. And as our swan song for North Shore Habitat is our annual auction, which, as you would know, it would have been live at Danversport, but this year it's online, and you can see the link. And that online auction is opening tonight and runs through Sunday evening at 8 o'clock. And it has a lot of the features that you're used to, a lot of different items, from collectible baseballs to cruises of Manchester Harbor, and a whole slew of items. And we hope you will come and join us and bid and support Habitat and what we're doing on the North Shore. And our principal sponsors, for instance, are like a walk down Main Street in Danvers. It's North Shore Bank, People's United, East Boston Savings Bank, and Institution for Savings. Those are our primary sponsors for this auction.
Yeah, it's you know, it's unfortunate we can't have the auction in person this year. I know Gala and I have been in the past, and it's been a ton of fun. I mean, I recall last year you and Gala had a Sonny and Cher skit that you probably don't want to talk about right now, but it did happen. Just acknowledge that.
Yes, it did happen.
Yeah, so but still, folks are able to contribute financially. I mean, I've been in the past where, you know, something you can put the dollar value to something that is going into the home, right? So you can talk about this door cost X amount of money, or this window cost X amount of money, and I think that matters to people at home, just because obviously we filmed a lot of the shoots in the area, and I know just talking to Gala when she's participating in the women's build, she talks about just how great it is to know, like, hey, I put that siding up, or hey, like I helped put that window on, whatever it may be. It's a wonderful feeling for folks who are able to get involved. So you know, if you're able to do that through the auction, I definitely recommend it. And I know Don can just touch on just the families themselves and just how great they are, because we've had the opportunity to work with them and interview them, and they are truly some wonderful people.
Yeah, I think the privilege of building these homes, and it is a privilege, and working with all the different families and seeing how grateful they are, but also just experiencing the volunteerism that goes on all around us. So for right now, you can volunteer and build on any of these sites. We're taking individuals, not corporate groups at this point. But we also have our restore. Right. So there's different ways you can donate through this auction, and whatever you purchase, that money is going directly into our builds. And there'll be opportunities, as you said, David, to target a window or a door if you wish. But you can also volunteer at our restores, and there's one up in Lawrence, and there's one here in Peabody on Pulaski Street. And both of those stores are open Tuesday through Saturday. Ours is open 10 to 5. And you can volunteer in the store, you can donate in the store, you can shop in the store. And you can go online and look at what we have as product, and you'll see there's some great values there. So there's a lot of ways to support Habitat, either through the restore or this once a year experience of the auction. And we've got a team working very hard to make this auction as successful and as welcoming as it can be. And hopefully all the computer connections work and we don't have any fails. Yeah. But the system should be up and running, and a pleasure for you to join and see, and you'll come out with some bargains.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, you know, I don't think people are going to turn down a bargain. You touched on the auction. I know I've had the opportunity to go to the restore myself a couple times, and you know, if you have sort of I don't want to say a stigma, but just potentially like a negative perception about what a restore can have in it, please check out the Habitat ones, because I assure you, you're going to find some awesome stuff, and you're not going to expect it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and the easy way is just go right to our website and take a look at the product, and that'll pull you in if nothing else does. Yep. And we have like some great paint. If you're into chalk painting, we carry Recolor, and it's a woman-owned company here in Massachusetts, and they recycle paint, and you've got great value in the pricing and a great product to use. So there's a lot there for everybody. But again, it's a good volunteer experience in that. But our ultimate goal is to produce affordable housing on the North Shore. And if you know what the housing costs are, if you have children or you're in the rental market, you know what it costs for a 2 or 3 bedroom home. And imagine getting something like that and paying less than $1,000 a month for it, and owning it. And that's what we offer. And that's what your support of Habitat is going to offer.
Wonderful. Dawn, thank you so much for joining us this evening. I know we've had a great relationship in the past, and Habitat definitely does great work for the community. So I applaud you for that. Folks, if you are interested, please check out the auction as well. Participate if you can. And Dawn, look forward to hopefully seeing you in person someday soon. But for now,
Yep.
Thanks for joining us.
Okay, you're welcome. Thank you, and thank you, everybody.
All right.
And enjoy the auction.
Absolutely. All right, send it over to John now.
Thank you, David. I am here with Sid Sennett from North Shore Pride. Hey, Sid, how are you?
I'm all right. How about you?
Excellent, thanks. Thanks for joining us tonight. Taking time out of your busy night to share some information about North Shore Pride with us. Tell us, what are some of the goals of North Shore Pride?
So you'll see on our website when you first log on that we've got a page that just lists our goals, and our main ones are community, education, and fundraising.
Community, education, and fundraising. And at least two of those seem like they would be very difficult to do during this current COVID pandemic. How has the pandemic affected all three of your goals, really? I mean, maybe you're educating via Zoom messages, but
Yeah, we're always looking for new ways to kind of like get ourselves out there and stay connected to the community, because we also provide, resources to people. We're also, people will contact us sometimes asking questions and asking for help for things. So we've been trying to just be inventive and come up with new ways to engage with the community. The main way we've done that is been through our kind of educational goals, which has been through the monthly Zoom panels we've been holding that are live for people to view, and they're actually still on our website, so you can go back and you can watch those now. They're free. And they're just educational panels where we invite different experts to talk about different topics. Like we had one that just recently that was about protest and voting and ways to use your voice. We had one that was talking about transgender people and violence against the transgender community. And we just invite a bunch of people on the panel. It's all done over Zoom, and then it's live on our Facebook and on our website. So it helps people. We know that people at home are like bored right now, or some people are, and they're looking for things to do. So it gives people a chance who have maybe never heard about what the transgender community is at all to be able to tune into something like this, and gives a platform for people to be able to explain how to be better allies. So that's kind of both the education and community piece. We've been working on a resource page on our website that has just listings of different, like we can't directly maybe fund you or get you, a place to live, but we can help guide you towards resources that might be able to help you in that venue. So that's a new part of our website. We've really just been doing a lot of revamping our website. And then as far as fundraising, we're going to be holding a virtual holiday fair starting on the 27th of November. So if you have a business, feel free to, we still are taking applications for that. So those are some of the ways we've been adjusting to the pandemic so far.
tell me about that virtual fair on November 27th, folks. How's that gonna work?
Yeah, so it'll open up on the website on the 27th, and I believe it'll be open like through to the very end of December, I believe is when it's going to be ending. Check on the website for more details. But basically we're pairing with different vendors, so you'll be able to buy products from them like through our website, and we'll get some of that revenue. Everybody will be helping each other here. It's one of those
Gotcha.
situations. We'd love to be holding like some kind of like holiday fair in person where people would come and they'd set up booths and stuff. But this is the best way that we could make this happen, by being on the web, but doing that, but putting it on the website,
So you're kind of being the Amazon of the North Shore then.
A little bit, yeah.
I like that. So how can people get engaged with North Shore Pride? How can people get involved in it? You're looking for volunteers, you're looking for help. How can people connect with you?
Yeah, absolutely. The best way to connect with us is to just go onto our website. It's a beautifully organized website, and we've got all these different pages at the top that you can look into. I don't believe we're looking for like specifically hunting for volunteers or board members right now. But the ways that you can get involved with us, if you have a business right now, again, we're still taking applications for the virtual holiday fair. So that is like one of the first things you'll see on our website. So and that includes if you're like a small business, if you like run like a candle making thing from home, things like that. That it can be included as well. So feel free to apply with that. You can always donate to us. It's a great way if you don't maybe have the time to help out with North Shore Pride type things. You can always donate your money to us. And we have all sorts of different, you can go, like I said, we have the recordings of our virtual forums on the website. So you can go back and you can watch those and you can stay educated on what's going on in the community. And as we, hold more events, and towards the end of December, we haven't announced this yet, but towards the end of December, we're going to be having like an inspirational type service to kind of just spread some good vibes and good cheer for the holidays. So just keep an eye on our website really for our events. And if you can afford to donate, please donate to us.
That's excellent. Yeah, I know it's going to be a really strange, like even just thinking about Thanksgiving, that's going to be all different this year for my family anyhow. And Christmas, it's like I've got 2 little grandchildren that are up in New Hampshire, but I'm not even sure how we're going to be able to give them their presents and stuff. So really difficult time of the year. And so if people can help out in any way they can, that's great. And nice of you to put up forums and stuff to deal with that.
Absolutely, yeah. And we hope, we really just want to make sure that people, they might be feeling really isolated right now, but that they know that, like, especially for people who do consider themselves members of the LGBTQ plus community, that your people are still here. They're just on Zoom right now. They're still here. You're not cut off. And it's been really good too, especially in this time of like, we're having a huge civil rights movement right now. We're having a big moment for civil rights. So to be able to talk about things like that and educate people, we've been getting a good number of people watching our forums. So
that's good.
It's been really rewarding.
Excellent. Well, Sid, thanks so much for joining us tonight. I appreciate you taking the time. I hope a lot of people go and check out your website, and especially on November 27th, and you get to raise lots of funds and help lots of people.
Thank you so much for having me. Have a wonderful night, everyone.
Thank you, Sid. Have a good night.
All right. Thank you, John. So I'm here with Kim from Grateful Friends. Kim, thank you for joining this evening and on Community Connections. I hope all is well with you.
Yes, thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
So I would love it if you could just start off by introducing the folks at home to Grateful Friends and who you guys are.
Sure. Grateful Friends is a nonprofit based here in Beverly, and we provide financial assistance to adults going through cancer treatment. And it was started by 2 friends that were at the same time got cancer. One had breast cancer and one had lung cancer. And when they were finished with their treatment, they realized that they were very blessed to have had family and friends and also financial stability in order to weather that treatment and that storm. And they thought there are a lot of people that are not as fortunate as us. So they started the foundation to help those folks.
That's wonderful. And how do people, we touched a little bit about this off the air, just in terms of getting your name out there. So how do folks find you guys?
Well, there are 2 ways. One is mostly through oncology social workers. So we work primarily in Essex and Middlesex County. So the Leahys and Beverly Hospital, people that are being treated, Mass General in Danvers, people that are being treated there have a social worker that's assigned to them, and that social worker gets to know them beyond the medical treatment. Knows them if they are having financial difficulty, if their mortgage is, piling up, if their electricity bill is piling up, and they will fill out an application on their behalf and get that to us. Accompanying that application is a note from the doctor, verifying that this person is in fact, going through treatment. And then another way that people find us is just through our website, through a family or friend. So if you knew someone or a neighbor or had a family member that was being treated for cancer, you could offer to them to apply for a financial grant on their behalf.
Perfect. So you touched on the financial grant aspect. I was wondering if you could give specifics in terms of what types of things you guys do fund.
Sure. So we have 2 main programs. One is called A Little Peace of Mind, and it's where we offer to pay bills. So there are electric bills that sometimes pile up, or sometimes there's a mortgage that needs to be paid. Mostly we find people with very high deductibles with their health insurance. So even if you have a very, comprehensive health insurance, sometimes deductibles can be in the thousands. We try to give away about $5,000 a month in those types of financial grants. Another thing that we have is our Comfort Basket program, and that is essentially a gift basket. But oftentimes when someone is sick, their friends will send them flowers or maybe a fruit basket. And that is not necessarily what a person going through cancer needs at that time. Our baskets include specific things for their diagnosis, if they're having surgery versus radiation. Someone's going through chemo, they have dry mouth, so there's a special product on the market that we put in the basket, special lotions and creams for folks going through radiation, as well as fun things like candy and a deck of cards because you're in the hospital waiting all the time, blankets to keep you warm, nice fuzzy socks. And included in that basket is always a gift card to one of the major drug stores, so in case you need to buy extra things or pay for a prescription copay.
I mean, if someone's going through cancer, it's unfortunate that something like bills or something can come up because obviously that stress is added in an already stressful situation. So I can only imagine just the relief that any sort of assistance can provide because as I said before, that's the last thing somebody should potentially want to worry about is, oh, can I pay for this bill?
Right.
But it is a harsh reality for so many out there, unfortunately.
That's right. I mean, cancer is enough of a stress that you don't need to be stressed if the lights are going to go off tomorrow. Yeah.
So just given the circumstances right now, it's obviously very unique. We're holding this virtually. We touched on how we love to have this in person. But for Grateful Friends, what is your biggest challenge right now?
Sadly, our biggest challenge is also dealing with the fallouts from COVID-19. So Grateful Friends was scheduled to have a very big gala at Danvers Port in April. We were on target to raise over $100,000 that would be used to fund all of those financial grants that I spoke of. Unfortunately, like everyone else that had a gala in April and May and June, and even now, it had to be canceled. So our biggest challenge is also competing with the other sort of urgent needs that rose to the top with COVID, food scarcity, and the work that folks did to help the restaurants and the restaurant workers, all of the jobs that were lost. But the one thing that you have to keep in mind is that just because COVID is here, cancer didn't take a day off.
Right.
Our folks have cancer still. And then on top of that, there's job loss. And there's, I can give you an example of a gentleman that we funded. He had has brain cancer. And so he had to reduce his work hours. So his income was less. And then COVID hit and his wife was a house cleaner. So all of her jobs canceled. So now they had even less income, but he still had cancer. So, it just gets compounded by a pandemic that we're in.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking to hear, because this stuff for the most part, it's out of folks' control, right? Like if they had the choice, yes, we would love for life to kind of be as it was normally, but that's just it's unfortunately not a reality right now. So for those at home who feel that urge and they'd love to get involved, is there some way you'd like to kind of steer them or guide them?
Definitely. The timing is perfect. So because our gala was canceled in April, we have a good amount of auction items, things that we had solicited from businesses and individuals. So starting on November 22nd, so it's the Sunday before Thanksgiving, for 2 weeks, we're going to have an online auction where some of those wonderful items will be auctioned off. And we have some additional items that people came to us and said, we really want to help. I have a ski house, or I have a beach house, and we want to do a weekend, a lot of staycation type things, because that's all we can do now. Yeah. So we're going to do this online auction, as well as ask folks, during this sort of time of giving, this season of giving, to help us out. We really need to recoup that $100,000 that we didn't make in April, so that we can continue to do this very important work. So I would encourage folks to visit us on Instagram, our Facebook page. Our website is gratefulfriends.org, and we'll be blasting out information and teasing everyone with auction items. And that way, if you follow us on Facebook, they'll be able to see those updates.
Perfect. Yeah, an auction is it's a great time right now to get involved. It's a nice, safe way. So you said that auction begins. What date was that again?
It's on November 22nd, so the
Okay.
Sunday before Thanksgiving, and it'll go for 2 weeks. So you can check it'll be one of those situations where if you bid on something and then you get outbid, you'll get a little notification that says, "Hey, David, somebody outbid you,"
There you
and
go.
you can go back and bid again. And it'll go for a couple of weeks. It'll end on December 6th.
Okay, perfect. Kim, thank you so much for joining us this evening.
Thank you.
It's been great to talk to you, and if folks are interested, please reach out to Grateful Friends. I mean, you heard she gave an example of an unfortunate, heartfelt story, but unfortunately, I'm sure there are many stories like that. So it's a situation that definitely needs just the assistance if you can't provide. So Kim, have a great night. Thank you.
Thank you. You too. Take care, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, David. I'm here with Mari Matt from DEEP, the DEEP organization. Everybody in Danvers is familiar with DEEP. How are you, Mari?
I'm doing well, John. Thanks so much for having me.
Oh, a pleasure. It's always a pleasure to have you on. So let's tell the people at home all about DEEP if they are unfamiliar with it.
Absolutely. So DEEP stands for the Danvers Educational Enrichment Partnership. We're a nonprofit organization with a mission to enrich the educational experience of students in the Danvers Public Schools through a unique partnership that brings schools, our community, volunteers, and businesses together. So through our membership program and through fundraising, we provide teacher grants to fund initiatives in the district that aren't necessarily funded in the regular school budget. So we also work to support the district with a variety of different events, such as the middle school spelling bee, or we've provide financial support for DECA, the business skill development program at the high school. We've done the DEEP Breakfast of Champions, where we honor retiring teachers every year. And then some community events as well. So we helped to sponsor the MLK event put on by the Danvers Human Rights and Inclusion Committee, which I think was on a little earlier today. The Colleen Ritzer 5K, project graduation for high school seniors, and then the downtown holiday tree lighting, which we may talk about in a little bit. But so it's really a wonderful opportunity for us to help support the schools and then also spend a little time working in some of those events and programs that help support the rich experience that is education for our kids in Danvers.
Yep, great organization. I've been to many of your events. As a matter of fact, participated when my daughter, who is now 36, graduated from high school. I did the Up All Night graduation program there and was involved with that. So
thank you.
Yeah, a pleasure. It was interesting, that's for sure. But I think great. Keep the kids away from parties, keep them off the street, keep them in a fun environment. It's a wonderful
and give them another, one more chance to celebrate together before they go off into their own adventures. So.
Yeah, well, obviously that probably didn't happen last year or this graduation season. So the pandemic, I'm sure, has canceled many of your events. But what kind of initiatives are you doing this year amid the pandemic?
It has, absolutely. So last spring, we were super blessed to be able to offer $20,000 in teacher grants. This year, obviously, things are a little bit different, but we were able to, and we won't be having our big event, sort of the wine tasting, but we're working on some stuff for spring. And we were able anyway to contribute an additional $17,500 to the district, just to ensure that we were helping to support whatever initiatives they needed. So it's evenly distributed amongst each of the schools in the district, and they're able to use it for maybe it's additional manipulatives so that they can support social distancing while the kids are on their in-person learning days, and maybe some additional resources as needed for students on asynchronous learning days. So we really felt like it was important, even if we couldn't do all of the regular fundraising that we normally were able to do, that we provide some sort of support, understanding that kids and teachers are just working so very hard to do the best they can this season. Yep. So our typical grants fund things like classroom libraries, Google. This year last spring we funded Google virtual reality goggles for life skills classes. And that turned out to be a really neat program, particularly now with all the social distancing requirements and this in and out of school time that's happening. These virtual reality goggles give our life skills students an opportunity to interact in social ways that they may not be able to have the opportunity to do right now. So it turned out to be an excellent opportunity for them during the school year, but then also a great resource when learning changes, right?
Right.
And you have to pivot. And so now they have a little bit more resource to be able to do what they do best, which is help educate our kids.
That's
So
great,
we're
and
happy
it's
to
great that you did pivot like that. You know, it's like you have to change. You can't say like, oh, throw our hands up, right? Yeah, figure it out.
Nothing's the same. So creativity is king right now.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. So speaking of creativity, how can people get involved? How can people help you?
For sure. So it's a volunteer organization, so it's a team effort. I think the three big ways that we always talk about, right? So the first is to join. If you have the opportunity, if you haven't been a member of DEEP before, please consider joining as a member. It is $10 for individuals. It's $20 for families, and business memberships start as little as $100. So it's really a really manageable way to make a big impact in the schools. For all of us together can really make a big difference. We always need volunteers. So we're looking to grow our board to help us sort of read through the grants as part of the grant selection committee, to help us plan and execute events, and to help us, really sort of chart what the next several years in DEEP will look like. We meet monthly. They're virtual now, so from the comfort of your own home, you can come and meet us. Usually it's the third Wednesday of every month. And then lastly, I think another big way is to give. And I think, John, particularly in this season, it's really important for us, for DEEP, to say thank you for the support of those local businesses. And if you have the ability to do so, please shop small and local to these amazing businesses that have stepped in and helped our sports teams, helped our DEEP, helped our, all of the clubs and things in through the years, and they need us now. So really just to join DEEP, consider joining the board, and certainly help support those businesses and organizations that have been donors and supporters of our events through the years.
Yeah, that's an excellent point. Somebody had posted on Facebook yesterday. If you are one of those people that year after year after year has been going to organizations asking them to donate, and I was on the Family Festival Board of Directors for 20 years, so I was one of them. So when you're always asking for donations, now's the time to give back. Now's the time to go back to those organizations and return the favor, keep them afloat, stay local. So
that's it.
Excellent point.
We are always so grateful every year for the support they've given us. And so now more than ever, we want to make sure we're stepping up when we're needed to do that too. So we're encouraging all of our, within the sound of our voice, definitely shop small and help support our local businesses.
Beautiful, beautiful.
It's part of community.
Yep, got that right. All right, Mari, thanks so much for being with us. I love hearing about DEEP and everything that you do. Good luck this coming year.
John, do I have 2 minutes for a quick plug?
You got 1 minute. Go ahead.
1 minute. Christmas is coming, and so does our special visitor. We are sponsoring again with DCAT, Danvers Cares, and East Boston Savings Bank. It will be a virtual downtown holiday tree lighting.
Excellent.
Music, stories, holiday recipes, and a special visitor who we know that magic even happens in a virtual space. So stay tuned to on our website, supportdeep.org, Facebook, Danvers Educational Enrichment Partnership. Follow us, and we will share our information as it becomes available.
Excellent.
Really soon.
Great plug. Thank you so
Thanks,
much
John.
for being with us tonight. Have a great Thanksgiving.
Thanks, everyone. Happy holidays.
All right, you too. Bye.
All right, I think we are up right now. I need a peek, and here comes.
Oh, hello. So we're just going to close it off, Mari. Thanks so much for coming on tonight.
All right, have a good night.
All right, guys. So that was really great. It was really nice to hear from everyone. And it was really cool to be able to do it virtually. I think if you told me this a few months ago, that I would have struggled to figure out how we could do it, but I think we've sort of all become Zoom experts. It was really just good to hear from all these organizations and, how they're coping, how they're adjusting with everything, and how they're really just continuing to do amazing work. So it was great.
Yeah.
You know what was interesting to me, Greg, is how positive they all were, that they're working through this pandemic, and even though it has had a huge impact on what they normally do, they didn't get discouraged by it. They figured out a way around it, and they're pushing through.
Yeah, I remember early on, it was like, we just got to figure it out. We're in the same boat in some ways too. We're a nonprofit, and things change really quickly, and staff, everyone has been really amazing about adjusting and figuring out what we can do to help. I mean, there's one part of it that's hard, is there is more to do to help, I think, right now. There's just so much going on. So it's amazing to see the ability for people to step up. It's really been great.
Yeah. One common theme that I know, a lot of my conversations kind of steered towards was the challenges that you're dealing with right now. And inevitably, 99% of the people said COVID-related or problems, which it just speaks to how we've had to adapt as a community, as an organization, and hats off to all these folks who have adapted, because it's not easy. One thing I joked about when people kind of came into my break room was, and I know you guys can attest to this right now, but there's a mess of wires and cords everywhere just because we wanted to get this off. Yep. And it may not look pretty, but you know, I think it really was great to see everybody tonight, because again, like so many folks are out there dealing with new challenges, and we're happy to help.
I hope it looked pretty on TV, but I wish people could see the behind the scenes, because it's been some creative engineering. So thanks everyone for.
Yeah, and it was great to make some great connections tonight. We had some nonprofits that hadn't met each other that were in the breakout rooms, and it was great to make those connections. And there's actually some great networking going on in the breakout rooms before they got to go in with you, John and David. So that was exciting, that we made some connections and some nonprofits that are actually going to work together.
Excellent.
So that's what we usually do when we're here live in person, getting our community and our nonprofits together and having that excitement and networking. So we didn't have that piece in person, but being able to recreate that, or a little of it, in each breakout room before they went and talked to the two of you was very exciting and very rewarding.
Yeah, it was really cool. And also, I will say, hopefully next year we're all back in here and we can get some food. I know some people are missing the food, missing the time to come in,
Texas Roadhouse.
Have a snack and meet people. So we'll continue to be optimistic that we'll get out on the other side of this. So yeah, thanks everyone for joining us tonight. We hope you have a great night. We hope you get the chance to support and work with these organizations. And thanks again.
All right. Peace.
All right.
Have a good night.
Good night, everybody.